It's interesting to know about some of the economy. I mean, it's the government structure, the economy, marketing goods and services. All these things are different for many different countries.
Yeah, now we changed our political system. Like in the past, president was the main person who made primary decisions. Now the parliament is the main person who makes primary decisions.
Right. Anyway, Martha does have an opportunity. One of your classmates, you know who I'm talking about, Georgia. She graduates in May. She is a single mom. She's working 50 hours a week and taking about 18 credits in accounting and so forth. And she's one of the best students. So she must organize her time well with her child and her job and her school. She worked at Bojangles, I guess it was, and she did pretty good, and she was maybe a shift manager. And so accounting opportunity come available. I gave her internship for that last spring. I don't know what the accounting job paid her, $12 or $13 an hour, whatever. But Bojangles gave her $17.50 an hour. Come back to manage Bojangles. And since she has to work 50 hours a week, she gets 26 something overtime. So it averages out to $19 an hour for 50-hour week, which is around $950, which is around $50,000 a year. That's not bad for a 21-year-old female, is it? So, but the best part of it, Bojangles wants to send her to their home office in accounting. They know what a good worker she is. They wanted her to go now, but she talked to me in the way she graduates in May. So she'll go to the home office, and I'm assuming she'll make quite a bit more than the 50,000. So not bad. One of our graduates. And another young lady, I had an accounting principal last night. Her bank is paying for her classes, and she's a I believe assistant loan officer. She started out the bank as a teller. She's about 26 years old, I guess. And started working at the bank 6 years ago. She's already making over $50,000. And her was 6 years old. And once she gets some kind of degree, she'll move up in the bank. Whether it be in management or whether it be in accounting or both. They both go together in bank, management and accounting. So just trying to say there's opportunities, and there's opportunities in the accounting world and even in the management marketing world. If you're willing to go out and do it and try your best here. So if your grades go with you, do your grade. They don't change. Once you graduate. So do the best you can. Now, today, before we look at the test, and only about half the people here that took the test, too bad because you got to put your grade on it. And I started looking at them, and some were such a mess and trying to find your answers. I decided I'll help you grade your own test, so forth, and try to make sure everybody's honest, which most of you are. Mark, he's always got that sneaky look, and I can't trust him. But all right. But anyhow, we're going to look at, and I don't have a PowerPoint on this. The book didn't even put it in here. We've got to go to chapter 5, to page 241. All right, chapter 5. Page 241, and about all you're going to hear on live stream today for half an hour is lecture, and hopefully you participate in whatever we do, because I don't have the PowerPoint on the appendix. But we have to cover this appendix, and it's not hard. It's not that much. If you look at page 243, and if you look at page 242, now again, we will not do a scatter graph. It's like we did not on break even. We did not do a graphic or any kind of chart, but we will do the high-low method. Now, what's this high-low method about? It's about cost. Now, you know what fixed cost is. You know what variable cost is. You know, who's married in here? You know what your fixed cost is a month if you got rent or a house payment. Your electric may vary. Your cell phone bill may be fixed. The TV bill may be fixed. Really, what does some of y'all pay for a TV bill a year? Just for TV, what do you pay? How much?
I don't have cable.
You don't have cable. You just use the antenna and get a couple of channels? Or
No,
what?
internet, I use Netflix.
Or you use Netflix? Do you get news or anything? I know I've got Netflix, but I've got it exported.
You can watch the news the day after it comes on.
Yeah.
I get both.
This network's like 80 a month.
What is?
It's like $80 a month for this.
For cable?
Satellite. Yeah, I pay $100 something a month. I set up for the Netflix.
You got direct or dish? Direct, what's the other one? Dish. Yeah, well, cable's getting ridiculous. I think mine's about $180 a month. I want to do something about that, but that does include my home land phone and internet. So, yours does too?
But you're paying more than I do.
But it's getting ridiculous. Remember when I used to pay $15? All right. I remember back further than that I had to, when I was home, TV pretty much was a new industry. I had to mile back on the mountaintop, put an antenna up in the tree, and run a cable down the mountain, and get 2 channels. I could pick up channel 6 Bluebill and Oak Hill back. I pick up the rest. I got 3 channels, 3 networks. Anyway, electronics and cable a long way in your cars, in your home, what have you. But anyway, fixed cost and variable cost. A factory's going to have depreciation, which is usually fixed cost. They may have rent, which is a fixed cost. And they have variable cost. Materials is a variable cost because you don't know how many units you're going to produce. But sometimes semi-variable cost. My electric bill is probably semi-variable. If I didn't stay home at all, it'd probably be so much a month. That's fixed. But then the more, I guess, kilowatts I use per month, the higher the bill is. So electric bill is semi-variable or semi-fixed. All right, and there's other bills. Now, that's what the high-low method is trying to do, separate variable and fixed costs. Okay, so let's look at an example in your book without looking at a formula. Let me see if I can find an example. All right, go over to page 245 and let's look at this example. All right. Look at this example. Let me bring up notepads here to try to walk through this with you. All right, find your high month and patient days. What is your high month and patient days? Is 8,000 your highest? Are you with me on page 246? Is 8,000 your highest? All right. Now, what is your dollar amount at 8,000? $9,800. Now, this is the high. Now you got to find the low. Now what is the low? I see 5,000 in March. Anything lower? Is that the lowest? All right, at $5,000 or units, patient days, what is the cost?
7,400.
Now we've got to find the fixed cost and the variable amount. So if you subtract the low from the high, we got a difference of 3,000. And if you subtract the dollars from the high, it looks like a difference of 2,400. Now divide 3,000 into
80 cents.
80 cents. All right, now what is that 80 cents? That 80 cents will be the variable cost, and we'll have to find the fixed. But let me show you a proper formula for that. All right. Look at page 244. A proper formula there is a change in cost and a change in activity, which I've done here. Here's a change in cost, and here's a change in activity. And I'm dividing, and I'm getting 80 cents. Well, they've got the same thing here because I'm working the problem, and they've already got it work for you. 80 cents. Now, let's take that 80 cents and multiply 80 cents times 8,000. And 80 cents times 3,000. What is 80 cents times 8,000? Is that 20? Is that 6,400?
Yes.
And 80 cents times 3,000 would be, is that 2,400? All right, that's variable cost. Now, let's go up here and subtract 6,400 from 98. What does that leave me? Something's wrong here. I can see it now. You're supposed to subtract 2,400. What is 6,400 from 98? 20 what? It's not going to work. It's got to work though. Here's the variable cost per unit. Now we got to find the fixed cost per unit. All right. Now the formula they've got here, they're finding 34 is fixed cost. Given that we have estimated, you take your variable cost minus your fixed cost per unit, that left 34. Well, I was doing it correct. What is 80 cents times 8,000? This don't look right. Somebody subtract that. That does give us what? 98 subtract 64 does leave us 34, doesn't it? Now that's one way of finding your fixed cost. But now it also should work with that low thing too. And I put down the wrong units here. It's one thing. I was putting down the difference. I need to put down to 5. 5 times 80 is how much? What is 80 cents times 5,000?
4,000.
All right. Now what is 4,000 from 7,400? It will still leave you 3,400. Okay, so that's equal to fixed cost, and then the variable cost is 80 cents a unit. So we are breaking down semi-variable cost or mixed cost into fixed and variable. Now, I know you caught on to that real fast. And there's a method of least squares in here, and it don't even show that. I won't hold you responsible for it. In statistics, who's taking statistics? Nobody taking it now? Georgia, haven't you had it?
I took it.
Did it have a regression analysis in it? A method of least squares? All right, you'll get that in statistics. But some managerial books, you go into that in detail. Method of least squares. You can prove a lot with that. I haven't used it in a long, long time, but you can prove some theories by using that method. All right, but I want us to go to page 249. And I want you to look at exercise 5A-1. Now I'm going to look at this one with you, and then you're going to practice one on your own then. All right, in this exercise, find me the high activity. Occupancy days, find me the biggest number.
2406.
2406. And the dollar amount for 2406.
5148.
Now we're going to find the low. 124?
Yeah.
Wow. What is this, a hotel? It's a hotel. Occupancy days. October's a bad month. That's $1,588. Now there's some fixed costs to running this motel, and there's some variable costs, but it's all lumped into one cost, mixed cost. Now take the difference here. That's 20 what?
2282.
And the difference here is
3560.
all right, and divide the difference in units into the difference in dollars and give me a dollar amount for variable. One what?
1.56.
Did that come out even?
No. I rounded.
Yeah, I'll take it out to 3 places at least.
Yeah, it will be 1.56. It's like 1.560.
1.560.
Yeah.
Well, 3 places is still decimal 56. So if you got a 0, it don't matter. All right. Now we're supposed to be able to take one of these months, 2406, multiply it by the variable cost, and all right, how much do you get here? 2406 multiplied by the variable rate.
$37.53.36.
37.50.
3.36.
I'll just round. All right, now subtract that from your total cost of 51.48, and your fixed cost is how much? Is it $23.95? Anybody else get $23.95? You got how much? That is correct, because 3 from 4 is 1. Okay, I just did that to see if somebody would catch it. All right, so your fixed cost is $13.95 in this problem. So what I want you to do is do the next problem on your own Now, Georgie was the only one, and a couple others were speaking up. So I want you to do exercise 2, page 250. Find me the variable rate and the fixed cost. Okay, some of you have finished, and we need to wrap it up anyway. What is the high car rentals? Is it 33, no, 34.89?
Yes.
Okay, high 34.89. And the dollars connected with that?
15.38.
And then the low car rentals,
80.
that'd be January. And the cost with that is at 10.825. And you find the difference. And here,
11.09.
all right, units. And over here,
49.13.
now divide. And you get how much?
$4.43.
Is that rounded or?
Yeah.
There was a zero after.
Okay, 443. All right, if it's a zero after, it rounds off a bit. So take it out to 3 places is what I'm trying to get you to do. All right, now if we take the high of 34.89, you should be able to take the low also, times 443. What does that give me?
15,400.
if we subtract that from 15, well, it don't leave much fixed cost, does it? That'd give you how much?
282.
280 what?
82. 282.
Well, that's not much fixed cost. That's what it says. All right, so practice a couple more of these. Practice number 4 on the same page. Practice number 5 on the next page. It doesn't matter. If it says scatter graph, don't do that. Do it by the high-low method. So that's what I want you to know today is the high-low method. So maybe that one concept we learned today, and that's all we're going to learn today. We're going to learn how bad you failed the test or how good you passed it. All right. I got to turn in midterm grades. And anyhow, difference in grades, taxes, I won't have to turn in an F or a D. My principals at night, I don't think I have to turn in an F or a D. But my principals during the day are 50% Fs and Ds. So managerial accounting, judging from that first test, depends on how well you do on this test. Now, some of you, doesn't matter. These reports go to you or your parents. Doesn't matter. And midterm grade don't matter a lot. It's what you do from here to the end of the term. But if you get 2 grades, well, I'm going to probably have to drop a low grade later. So if you pass one of these with a C or better, you would have been at midterm grade. So I would take that one. So, but you do know if you have to buckle down or not. Okay, I'm going to quit recording. I think about everybody's taking this test. I've got Gary French taking it as we speak. And I'm going to stop broadcasting anyway.